Hello, hi, and welcome again to the Terminal Podcast, where in the end, it's all about the numbers. I am your host, and we are broadcasting high above Civic Center Station. And the numbers around Metro Atlanta today are sky clear, but 95 degrees. If you're just flying in, we're hours away from the All-Star game taking place just north on 75 in Cobb County, where all the All-Star activities have taken place. But I might talk about that later. This is a show about baseball, when in season, but it's out of season. So we're just recapping the latest
Uh,
Mets
It's not
cycle.
out of
And
season, it's in season.
well, it's in the middle of season. It's actually
Yeah,
off season because technically everybody's off for the next four
that's an off
days.
day.
It's an off day
It's
for
not
the
off
entire
season.
league. The entire league has an off day. I was going to talk about the Mets starting rotation, but I would have to talk about the Yankee starting rotation. So how do you feel your pitching staff's done this year, Kris? How do you feel the team you root for, the New York Yankee Colicans, or how do you extend that name out? It's just Yankees.
It's just Yankees.
It doesn't come out to something cooler.
Like Metropolitans, no.
No, that's a sad thing.
Overall, it's been pretty good. I mean, yeah, like everybody needs bullpen help. Everybody needs bullpen help.
I do find it
Um,
funny when everybody's like you got to get a relief. It's like who doesn't need a relief arm? Who's
and
like that?
relief
My
arms
bullpen's
are
fine.
so like, besides your closer,
Mhm.
relief arms are just like, I always say, if you, it's a project I wish I could do is find a team that won the World Series, and I bet you five of their middle relievers had the best season they ever had in their life that
It
year.
it's as if people want to forget about the fourth starter that went 13-7, and had his
Right,
best season in the midst of
right.
your great
And
season.
and Kyle Farnsworth has his best season out of your bullpen, and then
Exactly, something
and then
along
that guy
those
becomes a
lines.
journeyman reliever. But anyway, to go back, overall, it's been pretty good. Um, you know, Injuries have hurt, obviously. Cole going down before the year, and now Clark
That's
Schmidt going out for the year with Tommy John.
See, and that's the thing. I wonder how much, that's the word I'm looking for. How much time do you feel is given to injuries when it comes to baseball? Because it almost feels like people completely forget that your top two of three between Mr. Cole and Rookie of the Year,
Yeah,
Luis
Luis
Seal,
Heel.
Luis
Yeah,
Seal, Rookie of the Year. That's
has
right. Because
pitched 0 innings this
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You
year.
you don't have him, but it's as if you started the season with the expectation that he wasn't going to be on the team, and therefore, I mean, it's almost like you don't, as a team. I'm saying it's all teams. It's the Mets.
Right.
It's like if you don't have that player, that team doesn't have that player, but they don't seem to get we're midway through the season. I haven't had I just saw Sean Manaea pitch in the Mets uniform
Yeah.
Sunday and haven't had him all. And it's just like, oh, that's what we've been missing this entire season. That's right. He was supposed
Right.
to be here this entire time. At least no, you got a couple starts out of Cole or no?
No, no, no. He got shut down in spring training. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So you got no starts. So you got
Yeah.
no starts out of Cole, no starts out of Heel.
Heel. Yeah. But I mean, listen, we went out and signed Max Fried, and he's been really good. He had a bad game
Hmm.
the other day, and he had one really bad game against the Dodgers. Well, I mean, the Dodgers are really good. I know they're on a little losing streak, but like people like Max Fried is like 11-3 with like a 2.3. And I was listening to the radio today. Oh, Max Fried. Oh, what are we gonna do about Max Fried? I don't know. Pitch him on Friday. That's what we're gonna do about Max Fried. Like,
Start him. Start him the
yeah,
next time you
start
can.
him. Um, Rodon's been what he is. He's a good starting pitcher. He's not an all-star level starting pitcher, but as your number two, I think it's been good. Of course, we're going to look for arms. Everybody's going to look for arms, but overall,
I
I'm pretty happy with where the pitching staff is. Listen, guys like Marcus Stroman, right? They're going to try to get a starter so that they don't have to keep running out Marcus Stroman. But
Well, it just becomes a question of who's because I feel this is a luxury. I get to say because this is a team you're almost kind of now like, all right, we're somewhat in a playoff position. What are we going to look like come playoff time? So
right,
with that in mind, it's who's your one, two, three. Now, I just talked about one of my one, twos, threes. The other two would be Senga, who is quietly just having another great season his ERA is 1.39. He just doesn't
Yeah,
have the innings. Yeah, I mean, like he's
yeah, because he had the little hamstring.
yeah. Well, I mean, between that and he went a lot of 5 inning starts early because he went let him go 5 innings early, and they're still treating him like such a delicate. They used to Kornheiser used to call Steven Strasburg with the Nationals the orchid because he bloomed and you just had to treat him so fragile and everything like that. Senga's along those lines because it's just if we can get him on the mound and keep him on the mound, he's pretty much untouchable. But he's
Yeah,
got to get out there. And David Peterson's my 1, 2, 3. So that's my one,
right.
two, three come
And
playoff
you
time.
guys have just gotten healthy in your pitching staff just now, just recently, and then getting Mania to pitch those 4 innings in relief, 4.5 innings in relief.
Three and a third before the Royals ended the Mets
Yeah,
first half with a 3-2 loss.
I heard the last inning on the radio, but yeah,
Yeah.
but
But it's like that's a not a bad loss because Clay
no,
Holmes started it and went 5 innings and gave up 2 runs and for by the way, for come playoff time, that's the guy who I can say, hey Clay, can you go 6, 7, can you go from the 6, 7, 8th inning and get me to Diaz? Because you've done that before and you've proven that you're still a good pitcher and everything like that, or start the
right.
fourth game. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm already moving on because this pitching staff is the Mets pitching staff is amazing, but that's neither here nor there. You were saying no, you weren't
No,
saying. I was saying that the starters so far, I could go through the five, then everybody pitched and everything like that. And Peterson went 7 against Baltimore, didn't get a decision, and the whole thing against Kansas City and taking the first 2 out of 3. And Frankie Montas just decided to show up, and apparently he's not bad. I didn't. I always was like
yeah, he's uh,
he's my fourth or fifth starter.
right.
I just told you
Like you said, your playoffs are Senga,
Senga,
Mania,
Peterson,
and
Mania,
Peterson in
and
whatever order,
then
depending what order. But then
yeah,
that's it. You only need three starters in the
it,
playoffs. That's it.
and if I do need a fourth, it's Clay Holmes or it's
Well,
yeah. I mean, like,
and he starts and pitches 2 or 3 innings
and that's the point. We're talking
in
about,
modern day baseball.
and in modern day baseball, Frankie Montas is a 98-mile-per-hour arm that's now going to pitch the seventh and maybe get into the 8th inning for you
Right.
because it's playoff time, and he looks capable of doing that because he's throwing nothing but heat. I didn't realize he throws 98 and then he has a split finger. And if it's working, as every pitcher is, if it's working, um,
He's
did
one of
you
those
know?
guys. He's sort of a poor man's Carlos Rodon. When
Mm,
he misses in the zone.
yeah.
So dingers get hit off of
Well, but that's the other part of it
him.
is he didn't well against Kansas City. He went 5 and gave up you know only 1 run, but he doesn't walk people because he, like you said, he misses in the zone.
Right.
So
So yeah,
he's
like
going
I
to
said,
either
when he
get
misses,
hit,
it gets hit.
yeah. But I'd rather that than him walking people because the
Right.
whole walks thing is just annoying. Well, annoying isn't even the right word for it. Um,
That's
he's
why
going
I'll
to
be
go
honest.
5.
Marcus Stroman's the most annoying pitcher to watch,
Yeah,
and why he keeps getting run out there.
you don't have.
He doesn't throw balls, and he doesn't
Yeah,
walk a ton of people, but he
yeah.
doesn't have any pitch to get anybody out.
I feel like he used to, like, for the first year when he was a
Right. No,
Met.
no, no. He's at the end of his career. So he
Yeah,
can't get people out, but he throws balls in the zone. So he'll throw 57 pitches and 38 of them or 39 of them be strikes. And you're like, well, we got to keep him in there. Like he's
yeah.
throwing strikes.
Well, and that's the sad thing about it is because he's throwing strikes is simply all you're asking for is someone who's throwing strikes. Just someone who's throwing is what, and I'm transitioning and not in the order I wanted to, which is that's pretty much what they're asking for at this point if they're looking for reserves and it comes to the pitching, the relief pitching staff and stuff like that. It's, can you throw? Are you willing to
Right.
throw in this all-star game? And from what I heard, and this is me hearing it through somebody else, so I've heard it through somebody else, through somebody else, through somebody else, is they asked the two pitchers from the Phillies, what's it, Christian Sanchez and
Mm-hmm.
oh, what am I gonna think of his next name? Because he's a Ranger, Ranger Suarez. They asked
Martin
both of them,
Suarez, yeah.
yeah, are you willing to pitch on Tuesday night? And they both said no. And they went to the Brewers and said, hey, is your Miz kid going to be available to pitch? And he said, sure. And then the Sanchez agent called back and said, whoa, whoa, whoa. He can pitch in the All-Star game because, there's a probable bonus on his contract for the
Right,
All-Star game. So it becomes a question of what is it, a game? Is it an exhibition? Is it a promotion for the sport? How does it work in your eyes? What's the more important thing, especially when it comes to filling out the roster? Because this is what all the complaints come from. We completely forget. I've heard it recently more than anything is we forget about the people who have made the game. We forget about
right,
celebrating them. We'd rather talk about the people who didn't make the game.
right.
So, what your overall thoughts just on the All-Star game in general?
Um, it is an exhibition to highlight the stars of the game, to highlight who you're trying to promote in the game. I have advocated, and they used to do this, they did this for a while in the 50s, I want to say,
Mhm.
because there are so many more
Oh,
teams, so many
yeah.
more players, and the roster, and they have this thing where they want a player from every team, which I don't totally hate because it,
Yeah.
get some young kids involved from teams that aren't doing well.
I think it's necessary to have a player from each team because there's a 40-man roster for all of this if you really want to go with what it should be. But either way, but everybody should be
Well, how
represented.
many guys are
Everybody's
on the
got an
team?
all-star
30,
team.
30 something guys now on,
Well,
on
well,
an all star
well,
team.
but that's the whole thing. If you need to increase the roster size to make sure you have a player from each
Well, no,
team
you
in
don't
it,
have to increase the roster. What I'm saying, there's 30 something guys on the team now. What you need to do, what you need to do is
mhm,
play Tuesday and Wednesday. You play two games.
and then start what? And then, but you play two games and then you start the season on what? A Saturday? You get the least you got to start on a Friday. So if anything, you play two
You
games
can
because you
start it
play
on a Saturday. You can do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 3 game series.
and then so everybody goes Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Tuesday off,
Thursday to get back on
and then
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
some people have Tuesday off, and maybe have a 2 game Wednesday, Thursday, or yeah,
Okay. I mean, yes, because they've got time enough to
you can adjust
wiggle
that
and
a little bit.
adjust the schedule if
Yeah,
necessary. Yeah, certainly.
but
All
with
right.
the
I mean,
number of teams you have and the number of players you need to have as an all-star, and again, some of that's like you said, bonus wise. Then you play 2 games. How about that?
here's my I don't want to say I don't disagree, but here's my question, coach. My pitcher's gonna do what now? He's on a schedule, and I gotta have him for the second half of this season.
Right,
So,
but this allows you to the starter pitches 3 innings tonight. You
mhm.
don't pitch him 1 inning, then another guy 1 inning, then another guy 1 inning, and then another guy 2 batters, another guy 2 batters, another guy two
So
batters.
then,
You have
so
you
then
have
you ask,
8 or 9 pitchers for tonight and 7 or 8 pitchers for tomorrow night.
oh, you mean a completely different set of pitchers?
Well, no, you have enough pitchers on the roster. People don't even pitch an inning nowadays in the All Star game. They got
Why I didn't
37 pitchers on the roster. So you designate guys for Tuesday's game and guys for Wednesday's game.
I just have the starters that I brought up, but I did see the pitchers because there is the starting pitcher for each team, and then there's the starters that they have, and then there's the relievers, but there's only like 5 slots for relievers. So it's a total of about 13. But I like the idea. If I was going to tweak it, it would be you just have two different, there's enough pitchers that you
Right.
could have two
Or you
different,
put some more pitchers on the route, whatever. But
yeah,
yes, yeah.
yeah,
And
something
right,
along those lines.
if you pitch Tuesday, you ain't pitching Wednesday.
And
So
I
they
guess in that eyes, because it goes to what's happening today, because this is the day before the game, which is the home run derby, which personally I'm been done with. I think it kind of ended when Mac and Sosa and all those, what I mean, when all of
Oh
those,
no, it didn't end then. No, no,
I
no.
mean, in my eyes, I stopped paying attention after that, is what I'm saying. Even though Pete Alonso won, I still don't care. I
By
just
the way,
don't.
between 1959 and 1962, Major League Baseball 2 All-Star games, the second game was added primarily to generate more revenue for the players' pension fund.
Well, that was also before that was before 73 and
Right,
uh
right, right. No, so I get that. But anyway,
they
I
gave
did know
money
there was
back
a
to
time period
players.
where they did have to.
No,
Sorry, but
but
I just stat point myself. I just Tony reality myself.
second game makes sense. It's more of an exhibition as opposed to showing it's the home run derby. It almost appears, even though it's older than, but it almost feels more like the 3-point contest and the slam dunk contest in basketball, which is almost, as far as I'm concerned, degrading to baseball because it's like we've been here longer. The home run derby's silly. I'd rather two games. I'd rather a game on Monday and then a game on Tuesday because there's enough all-stars to go around. There's enough people to give the time off. And that way, if you just do game on Monday, game on Tuesday, you don't even need to do anything like that.
Right.
You can make pitchers that are ready to pitch
And
on
people have Wednesday, Thursday off starting again Friday. Yeah.
the same way that no, that's the same way it is now,
Yeah.
except yeah, you're playing everybody.
Right.
So the
Guys are there tonight doing stuff.
yeah,
Right.
and
So why not have a game? Yeah.
yeah,
So you're gonna ask about the home run derby? I mean, it is what it is. All these things have lost their luster a little bit. Again, not as bad as the slam dunk or the 3-point, but like I want to see Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani in the home run derby, and you're not getting those guys
and you're
anymore.
not getting those guys in that.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
the last great home run derby was the 2009 or 10 at Yankee Stadium when Josh Hamilton, who was one of the best players in baseball at the time,
At the
was
time.
denting balls off the back of the fucking stadium. Like,
But who is he hitting them against? You're right. But it's like we're the best. But either way, it's when the best players are going to be taking part of it, and when it's not,
right.
and they're
And now,
sitting on
like,
the sidelines watching. It's
Jazz
like
Chisholm is in the home run derby. Like, I mean, he's got pop. He's got nice pop for a second baseman, a mid to lower level lineup second,
Jad
but he's
Jazz
not at the home run derby.
Jazz Chisholm is in the home run derby because 2 years ago, Jazz Chisholm was on the cover of MLB 2023 or whatever the game was
Right.
because he had funky sneakers and he was playing for the Fish at that time. Because I
No,
remember sitting there going, why is Jazz Chisholm on the cover
right.
of MLB? Even when he was a good player then, but I want to say he had a 40 home run. He had a big home run
He
season
did when he
at
was an
one
All
of
Star
those
in
points.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah. So there
No,
you go.
he's
So
got some pop for a second base, but he's not the guy. I mean,
no.
chicks dig the long ball. You want to see Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Let's be
And
honest.
I would was you go went to that and I've been thinking about that. I hate that phrase. I really do.
I
Chicks
know
dig the
you do
long
because
ball.
you're old school. I'm naturally bunt the ball, move the runner
It's
over.
got nothing to do with bunting the ball. It's chicks chicks don't dig the long ball. Do
chicks
they
dig
really?
chicks dig the long ball.
No, chicks dig the long if is what men believe is the problem, but it's
A
not
girl
the
walks into
truth.
a baseball stadium and she sees Aaron Judge and Wally Backman do what they do to a baseball. She's going home with Aaron Judge.
If she walks in and watches Roger Clemens strike out
She's
people at
going home with
98
the
mile.
Rocket.
So then
If you watch Tony Gwynn slap singles to left field or Judge dent the roof of a stadium, she's going home with the guy who dents the roof of the stadium.
so would she in this proverbial situation, does she go home with the guy who went out and made the other lineup look like a fool for 8 innings, or better yet, pull a Greg Maddux? That was always the question I found interesting because the initial, if I remember correctly, you correct me if
Was
I'm wrong.
Madison laughing?
Yeah, and it's like you
Yeah,
had the
no, I
two
think it
best
was,
pitchers
yeah.
at the time.
No,
It's
right.
like
They're going home with the pitcher. No, the pitcher gets the chicks. He's like the quarterback.
because the pitcher gets the chicks even in Bull Durham. It's not like she's
Right.
not there to
Yeah,
sleep with
no,
Crash Davis.
yeah,
She's there to
right.
sleep with what's it, Nuke LaRouche or
Nuke LaLoosh, yes, exactly,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, she's there to
100%.
sleep with him. But that's neither here nor there. I'm glancing over because I'm what I chose. Did you put out an initial All-Star ballot? Just because I did it for
No,
fun, obviously I did it for content for
no.
this. So I had Alonso, Marte with the Diamondbacks, Machado, Lindor. I'm able to use last names because you know everybody. Corbin
Right.
Carroll, who should be a household name as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, who's
Yep.
beloved in New York, as if anybody remembered him until he got traded by Javi. It's just there's a whole PCA thing. But either way, I also put Kyle Tucker in because the Cubs outfield is
Isn't that the All Star team? Or no, not Carroll. It's PCA, Tucker, and who else?
uh you mean the ones that actually made it?
Yeah.
Acuna,
Okay.
which
Right,
became
right, right.
Olson. But yeah,
Right.
which you could argue it could be I'm gonna mess up his Japanese name. Shahei
Yes, I say yeah, the Cubs guy who's second in RBIs or whatever, leading in RBIs. Yeah,
he was so cheap. And I remember when they signed him, I was sitting there, I looked at his numbers over there, and I was just like, he just looks like he's
is
just
it
a good
Seiya Suzuki or whatever? Yeah,
Suzuki. I was gonna say, but it's not Suzuki. I thought
no,
it was like a yeah. Well, instead of continuing to mess up his name, I'll find it in a sec. But yeah. And I had Trevino as the National League catcher,
okay,
and it went to Will Smith because I did not put Will
yeah,
Smith because I guess he wasn't hitting at the time. Anyway, and then Otani as the DH, and then the American League. I want to say I got this mostly right because I had Guerrero at first base, right? I had Altuve at second, so I guess they didn't take him. Gleyber Torres for the Detroit Tigers, who are Glaber, because he was a Yankee. So why'd you guys
well,
let him go?
because we didn't want to pay him $15 million to be average, and then,
Fair point.
but
Fair point.
he had a great second half of the year last year, but people had been done with him. They had kind of closed the door on the Glaber, and then once they traded for Chisholm last year and had
Yeah.
Chisholm on the roster, like yeah, I mean they the fans were done with Glaber Torres, kind of like they're getting done with Anthony Volpe. So
I had Jose Ramirez. He is the starter at third base, but he is not playing because he I did see him just come up limp a few days ago. So Junior Camaro from the Rays is going to be your starting third baseman.
right,
Uh Shortstop, Jacob Wilson had him. Aaron Judge, I question if he should start in the outfield, but did
yeah,
add
yeah,
him.
no,
I didn't have the two Tigers who are going to be Riley Green
Riley
and
Green
Javier Baez.
and Hobby, yeah.
Yeah, I had Stephen Kwan and Soderstrom with the Oakland. I was
Okay.
going to say
Okay.
Oakland, the
Steven Soderstrom,
Sacramento
the
Athletics.
Sacramento A's. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Those
Stephen
aren't bad
Kwan.
correspondents.
Yeah,
Soderstrom. No,
and
it's
the world would have known to pick Cal Raleigh as the catcher. And my DH was Rafi Devers because he was still in a Red Sox uniform at that time. So he's no longer in one of those. So I got it close. I came
yeah.
close.
Pretty good.
Um, yeah, I'm going back to which do you remember the I don't think this is made as much, I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? Not as much attention is paid to the fact that the MLB All-Star game is the only one that's a big deal because there are people old enough to remember a time when the only time you'd see a Yankee face a Met was in spring
Right.
training, and it was the last spring training game, the unlikely dual appearance in the World Series, or the more likely meeting in an All-Star game when Don Mattingly might face Doc Gooden or something like that, because that was the only time that the American League faced the National League.
Right.
So my question is, how much relevance does the All-Star game lose with interleague play? With the fact that you do see these teams against one another. You know what I mean? It's like if you're a National League player, if you're a National League
Yeah. I
fan,
don't think that's what's lost the luster of the All Star game. I don't think so.
so then what? Because I was going to say, because it has lost the edge of competitiveness that it was previously. Is it just the money? I mean, like, because Pete Rose and all those guys in the 80s still had deep feelings about trying to win the All-Star game. You know what I mean? But it's kind of faded away. Is it?
Yeah. I think again, it's been talked about on radio the last couple of days, and,
Mm-hmm.
talk about the NBA and the Pro
Got
Bowl
nothing
and
else
blah,
to talk
blah,
about.
blah, and all that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Things change in life,
Yeah.
and maybe we're just done with All Star games. Maybe All Star games should just go away.
Interesting.
I was just thinking that for no like you can select an All Star team, but maybe an All Star game has just played its way out of the modern day sports world. That's
Only
it.
problem the only problem with that is as broadcasters, we need to broadcast something besides all your games and then your postseason games. So that's why we have this all-star game more than now. I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I agree with you, but going forward, my broadcasters are going to want something else. And
Really,
if you
that one
could,
night or that two? Like, I mean, I don't
hmm,
think so.
what
I don't.
we got?
I
Well,
mean, is the home
are we?
run derby tonight going to do that much better a number than if they had a WNBA game on ESPN?
A, yes, and B, so are we just eliminating this mid-season break? Or are we just going to go straight through?
You can just have a break.
Well, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
you're right, because I love comparing this because in Europe they do have breaks where but those breaks are usually filled with other tournaments. That's when you'll have your league tournament, or people will go and play in Europe
Although
and
no,
UEFA's
I
and stuff
just
like
didn't
that. Or
FIFA just announce something about that.
Mhm.
FIFA literally just came out with something about that yesterday.
About how they're eliminating that, or they're trying to sneak in on it because
No, no, no,
UEFA.
no, 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 no.
Oh,
They're eliminating that. Like when there's breaks in certain things, there's gonna be no like going and playing. I honestly
hmm.
didn't read it. I just saw a quick headline, but it was something to that point
So,
because
oh,
of players,
interesting.
I think, being like overused and jumping from here to there when it's not their club, or it might have to do with club seasons. It was something again along those
Well,
lines a little bit, like so that you're
I
not
don't.
always like your club's on a break. So okay, you got to go play 4 games with your national team. Like there's got to
That's
be
Yeah. I
more
was gonna say
designated times where nobody's playing, where to give everybody off.
an equal amount of rest. Well, since this is a show, I'd love to go deep into that, especially since you, a huge football fan, talking the true football with the U and the O, would love to have a conversation about UEFA and how this FIFA Club World Championship is kind of stepping in on their turf. But I'm going to use this break as a way to close to a trivia question. Uh, Last year at the age 31, Jurgensen Profar out of
Jurickson profile.
Jurgensen, it's a horrible name. He went on to have he had an interesting name that I can't pronounce on your
Who I
scorecard.
believe won the Little League World Series for his country when he was 12
Did
years old.
he?
Yeah.
Aw. And he earned his first All-Star nod at 31, an impact player of clout for the San Diego Padres, career highs in runs scored, 94, hits, 158, and leading to a career best batting average of 280. He also hit a career high 24 home runs and finished with a career best, all career best, .839 OPS. That got him the huge contract. So the question becomes, did he, and this is a question for Braves fans and Braves fans alone, did he get on the juice for the outbreak year that got him the contract, or did he get on the juice because he wanted to keep it going for you guys, and then he got caught, and then he got caught, and then he got caught? All that just because there's a chance for me to crap on the team that's here. But my question for you is, the number I'm looking for is how much higher that 839 OPS, how much higher is that from current or his current career OPS? And just like the price is right, because no one is gonna you got this right on the head and weren't cheating, I'd be completely shocked. And people don't know the exact number of cost of a designer toaster. So, it's obviously going to be a range, but career best 839 OPS last year. How much higher is that from his current overall career OPS?
Three minus the two. Marge, what were your gambling losses last year? Um, that's the Homer. That's when
I
Krusty.
know, I
Yeah,
know.
burger. Okay. Or I switch. See, come on. Let's say
Uh,
187 points.
187 points better is the
And you know
guess.
why I picked that, right?
Because oh, was that the case? No, is that the case that they gave you? No, that's not the case.
No, but you're on the right
I
track.
know.
As it's
In an
1-7
incognito.
on an undercover cop.
That's what it's on
Deep
undercover.
cover.
I had it on incognito, so I was on the other part of the rhyme with that. Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening to two THS grads mumble through old 90s rap tunes and others mess up. I'll be back soon enough with hopefully something better to put down. Take it easy down your life's highway and have a good evening. If you do enjoy the home run derby, the All-Star game the next day, and we'll talk to you on the side of the break.